Hello everybody. I did get asked what all I carry in my backpack. That's an 85 liter Teton Sports backpack. So I'm going to show you what I have in it when I'm practice hiking. There's a few other things that I've just added. So I'm going to start right up here at the top. This is my, as you've seen before, my stove. This will fit right down in here. This is the burner that goes on top of it. You know how this works. I'll throw 2 lighters inside here. And the reason I have duct tape on this is if for some reason I need to build a fire and things aren't going very good, I can't get something lit. This duct tape right here, if you break off about a 6-inch piece and kind of crumble it up, not too tightly on itself, and you light that, it'll burn for about 4 minutes. All that will go in here. The lid goes on. This will be with that. And then, like I said the other day in my video, I splurged. Black pepper, salt, paprika, don't know how much I use that. Curry, don't know about that. Cayenne, garlic salt, and back to pepper there. Over here, I'll just keep with the cooking here. This is one of the adventure meals, and I mentioned this is lasagna and meat sauce. I haven't had that yet. But this right here is $11. And I saw somebody on a video that said, hey, you know, this is good, but you got to eat it all. If you're alone, that's a lot to eat, which I even mentioned the other day. The beef stew was, I had to wait to eat it because I was full. Well, there's all kinds of different ones. This is a taco rice, chicken and fried rice. I've got tuna with Tracy Yankee. Too bad. There's butter and herb, Mexican rice, Spanish rice, buttered stuff. There's all kinds of different flavors. This takes, I think it's 2 cups of water. It's let's see, two cups of water. It says you can add vegetable oil and some butter to it, but I ain't carrying that out there. And you stir it up and you wait. It's pretty good stuff. You can always eat another one if you're hungry, but at least that way you're not forced to buy that. And for what I bought this for, I can buy almost 12 of these. So this is one meal, one big meal. These, of course, are going to be one meal themselves. So I can have actually 11 meals for the price of one. I think these were like 96 cents. Okay, but for like something like breakfast and to munch on, I'll buy these. Bobby Sue's nuts over olives, almonds, cashews, pecans, and olives. I don't know how good it'll be. But anyway, I'll have that to munch on. I'll eat a fudge dipped chocolate or coconut, and then have me a beef stick to enjoy as a munch on. I'll do that through the mid-morning if I don't eat a breakfast or something like that. I'll move over here. This is the toiletries and the meds, the first aid kit. I didn't need to take a big fancy first aid kit. I got a lighter in there as well. And all the stuff I might need. You got some Aleve. Everything's a tweak. I got some bandages. This, of course, is for my bum. And I've had these since, I think I got these when I went to visit Michigan. Got it from the Red Roof Inn. I don't know. Anyway, so working my way continually back down from the top. This is the water brevet that you see, the hose hanging off my shoulder, out of my backpack. It's got 3 liters of water. Once I do get on the Appalachian Trail, I won't be using this. I'll just be strictly going to what they call the smart water bottle. I know you've seen it because there's water aplenty out there. You saw me use this the other day. This right here, the Sawyer water filter, and filtered out that muddy water in the pan. But I bought another one, so I'm gonna have that just as a backup. It's always good to have a backup. I'll save this part for last. This is what I'll take with me. I've got one cotton shirt, and I always have my Smiles for Miles shirt for Miles Borg, Kristen and Joe's son, a great little man. He's an awesome little dude. Just a cool little kid. I worked with Kristen for a while back at Fort Bliss, Texas. I got a very light pair of pants, almost like just barely windbreakers. And then what I'll be wearing right here. So I'll have these in my backpack. More than likely I'll have my Smiles with Miles on. And then this will be more for like at night. There's no use trying to worry about keeping clean out there because you're going to sweat. I'm going to have these for like around the camp at night to let my feet air out. I was going to go with the Hokas I had yesterday, the blue and yellow, but I decided to go with these. These are Hokas as well. They're a little bit different material, but they're going to get wet. It's just that they dry quicker. What I'll do is when I am crossing, your feet are going to get wet when you go across the river regardless. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my socks off, take these, I'm going to tie them to my backpack, and then I'll put these on. Pretty good grip. I mean, not much on the way of comfort. And then I can always, after I get out of there, I can always, what I tie these on to my backpack with, I can take and run that 550 cord through this and hook them into a carabiner and let these hang off the back of my backpack and dry as I'm walking. So I know people are saying, well, it's way too much weight. Well, I'd rather train with way too much weight. And I hate to say it like this, but this isn't anything compared to the loadouts we used to carry in the military. So I'm not going to complain. I have right here, I've got the Climate. This is the winter air mattress. Takes only about 12 puffs to air it up. But I got smart. I went and bought one of these little things right here. This is everything I've got is rechargeable as far as that. It's got a light on it right here. So you can see right now. There we go. If I could do it. There you go. It's pretty bright. You can hang that in your tent. You can actually use it and then that's a USB. That'll pump it up. So I'll use that to inflate this. And you say, well, if it only takes 12 breaths, why would you even bother with something like that? Well, if you're sitting there and it's a hot day and you know you can charge this up, it doesn't take batteries. It's actually got a rechargeable battery in it. I can always turn that in and on and just kind of cool myself off. If it's real hot at night, I can turn it on. It's not the quietest, but I don't plan on sleeping with anybody out there, so I ain't worried about it. And just kind of cool myself off. Yeah, here's the 2 battery banks. They are like, I think it's, this one is, oh boy, 25,000 milliamps or something like this. And this one's 35,000. This is the one I've been using right here. As you can see, they all come with a little charging cable, so I don't have to worry about taking the iPhone, or if somebody has an Android. They charge. Now, they call the Appalachian Trail the green tunnel because there's not much sunlight. Well, I've had these laying inside the house, and this light, the brighter it is, the more it's charging. It's got some indicator lights on here that tells you how well it's being charged or how charged it is. So I will use that. This right here is an emergency blanket. What I do is I put this into, once I get my tent set up and I've got a video and stuff that I'm going to post with this, I believe, I'll lay this out in the bottom of my tent. I was shocked, the one I had, at how much you could actually lay on it and you could feel the heat. So I'm going to have it deflecting the heat back up into off the ground for me. It's not much, but it's a little something. Anyway, moving on from this, I got this. It's a painter's piece of plastic. You can tell I've used it. It's kind of dirty. I'll put this down on the ground, and I'm going to go back and forth. The reason I put this on the ground is because it may have rained, it may have been wet, it may have been nasty. I'll put this down. It's a footprint. It goes on the ground. It just basically covers the ground for you. Puts a layer of protection between the ground and your equipment. And then what I'll do is, the reason I have the air compressor there is because if it's getting chilly or cold and you blow this up, you're going to induce moisture into the thing. Over time, it could develop mold if the condensation doesn't somehow dry out in the sun, but there's going to be times when you get up or you roll up and you roll out. And so, you know, if you've got mold inside there and you're blowing it and you're breathing it, it's not good. This is the Light Fighter 1 tent right here. I've got the Snug Pack Scorpion 2, which you'll see in the pictures and stuff. This is a 3-season tent. It weighs about 5 pounds, which is probably the heaviest in my back. It's got a rain fly on it, a full bathtub bottom. They're not standard issue in the Army, but I think they said a supply sergeant can get it, if I'm not mistaken, which I'm pretty sure that's what they were saying. The socks I use, this one and this one are Fox River. These are Fox River, and then these are, I think they're darn good socks, or what they're called. So I've got 4 pair of socks, and what I'll do is I'm taking one of those large alligator clips that you would use in the office, and if I have to, once they're wet and I can get my shoes somewhat dried out or whatever, and not too bad, then I will take the alligator clip and I will clip these to the back of my backpack. That way I've got one that's wet. I'm wearing one that's going to get a little damp just for the fact that the bottom of the insoles will get wet. And then I've got 2 as backup. So at night, if it's kind of chilly, I can put them on and I'll be fine. I'm going to have, like all good little old soldiers have, my Leatherman and Gerber, and then this will be on my harness on my shoulder. What I'm going to sleep in is the good old-fashioned U.S. Army extreme cold weather system right here. This bivvy cover, which you all that was in the Army may remember. I don't know if they still issue it, but it never failed me. It's waterproof. I've slept in this thing only, but I'm also going to be taking this right here. This is the green part that gets down to 10 below. It's supposed to be good to 10 below. There's a black part that also goes in it, but I'm not taking that. That all will cinch down into this little cinch sack right here, and that will fit down into the bottom of this right here. Everything else is going to go into here. But that's what I'll pretty much carry now when it comes time to doing the 100-mile wilderness one, where you don't really come to any towns, from what I understand, for like 100 miles. You got to carry more food. So right now, as it stands, I don't have anything on the outside of my pack. I've got my trek poles, they're outside, but you've seen those. It's typical mountain trekking poles, nothing fancy to that. Then what I'll do is I will take like this right here, and I'll strap it to the outside up here, or you can put it down under the bottom down here. It's got some straps on it, and that's how I'll carry everything, and then I'll put more food to the inside. What I will do though is I will get trash compactor bags, and anything like this that needs waterproofing, anything like that, I'll put that in a trash compactor bag and then put that inside to waterproof it. The backpack isn't waterproof, although down here on the bottom it actually does have a raincoat, it says, but we all know how that is. So that comes out and it just kind of flips up, but that's an added layer of protection. One thing I don't have is what they call a bear tin or a bear bag, because you don't want to, I guess up around Maine, wherever it is, you don't want to have any food at your campsite where you're sleeping at. You don't want to even have wrappers of it, because they'll find it. So what you do is you put it in a bag, you throw it up in a tree that's overhanging, and then you tie that thing that's holding the bag to another tree. And for me, I will make sure that I eat more than 50 meters away from my campsite and then bury any residue stuff. The only things I really don't have is showing you now are my raincoat. That will just actually get strung across the inside back of my backpack here. That's just going to go back in here. It's just going to hang inside here. It's a pretty good backpack. I really like it. It's just it's a light frame. It doesn't weigh much at all. Feels good when it wraps around you. Or as Elton John's saying, it wraps itself around you like a well-worn tire. But anyway, I figured I'd show you what I've got in it. And once I get going, I'll adjust it as necessary. I'll probably put this in with my toiletries and stuff because I'm not going to use it. I'll take it out of the package. But everything's about weight. But been watching a lot of videos. And the one thing I need to mention is, for all you people who are wondering out there, all my Army buddies, why am I not talking about the good old Whoopee? Because you save everything for last. This is a poncho liner. For those of you that don't know, we call them a Whoopee. Best thing the Army ever came out with. I kid you not. These things are like a silk blanket. They're nice. They'll keep the chill off you. But spent many a night sleeping with this wrapped around me inside this bivy cover without anything else. And I actually did think about doing that, just taking the Whoopee and this. But I've got my rain gear that I'm getting some new rain gear. I think Frog Tog and a little trail pillow. So, and that's it. That's everything that you see right here, minus the trekking poles. And I am going to try to try to walk from Springer Mountain, Georgia to Mount Katahdin, Maine, 2,197 miles. Anybody else wants to come along, you're more than welcome, but I will document it, and I may only be able to take one step and fall apart, or 100 miles. And my goal is, my treat is that for every 100 miles I go, the next town that I come to that has a hostel or a hostel, however you want to say it, or a hotel, then that's where I'll stay at. Laundry should be easy. You know, I could wash this in the sink if I had to and use the blow dryer as best as I could. But, you know, it's something I always wanted to do. And why do people do it? It's not for bragging rights. It's just something about it. Anyway, I hope you liked it. And if you got any questions, just let me know. And then I'll start putting these on my YouTube channel. So anyway, thanks for watching, hearing me ramble, but at least you have an idea what's inside my backpack there. But if y'all want some good shoes, these aren't tennis shoes. These are called trail runners. They're Hokas. They are the Speed Goat 5. Honestly, you know, there's just some good shoes and a little colorful. But anyway, thanks for watching. I appreciate it.